Caribbean Labor Union and Peace with keynote speaker Susan Hodge. Unity and Solidarity TV. Singing teacher caught on cam in Jamaica. TVJ News. Inside the Obama Presidential Center. A first look at Chicago's newest landmark. Curaçao awaits FIFA decision on Locadia ahead of World Cup opener against Germany. From the island, St. Martin, this is SXM Daily News for June 5th, 2026. Bakari Makeru, the host of Unity and Solidarity on TV. We have more of our keynote speaker this evening, none other than the president of the Anguish Civil Servants Association, Susan Hodge. And the presentation this evening is entitled Caribbean Labor Union and Peace. Because, as you correctly pointed out, usually workers are members of previous unions. But when we are to really understand the different ways of unions were involved and how they were able to organize every sector of the economy, and I mean every sector, from the youth, women, seniors, and the different types of jobs within a particular economy.
Because as you correctly pointed out, usually, workers, members, they place unions in a box.
Yeah.
But when we are to really understand, the different ways that unions were involved and how they were able to organize every sector of the economy. And I mean every sector, from the youth, women, seniors, and the different types of jobs within a particular economy. I often I hold Grenada very dearly.
Yes.
In my heart, and in my spare time I would go over some of the speeches by Maurice Bishops and others, and I was always impressed by his dedication towards organizing the masses. Where they would have let's call it schools under the Taman tree. Right. And workers were being taught, and they really championed education because they understood that an informed workforce is an empowered workforce. You see, and especially in this age of propaganda, one has to be equipped, right? One has to be equipped with the requisite information. One has to be equipped with the tools, right, to critically analyze text as well as developments to understand what is working for or against our interests. We have seen the election of the 47th occupant of the White House. And since his election, we have seen a let's call it the rise of the Monroe Doctrine 2.0, right? Where they believe that, this part of the region is basically their backyard, and they have every right to intervene or interfere in the internal matters and to force independent governments to bow and bend to its will, right? What in this particular time, how can we as trade unionists position ourselves basically to push back against, I'm going to call it U.S. imperialism in the region?
We can only push back if we are together. Anguilla is 35 square miles. St. Martin is what, 37?
37.
So, and what is the size of the U.S.? How can we as small islands do that? We can only do that collectively. And we have to think about it. That's why we have CARICOM. That's why we have the OECS, because we realize that individually we are too small, but if we are a grouping, we are bigger, because the only thing that really divides us is the water. The struggles are the same. When you go to a trade union meeting, for instance, the CPSA conference is being held in July in Grenada.
Hey.
So when you think about that, you're going back. When I had the privilege of attending industrial relations course with Cipriani College of Labor. It's a longer name than that, but just say Cipriani for now. And when I got into the history of the Caribbean trade union movement, that is why I was able to talk the way or write the way I wrote in that paper, because you can imagine after World War One that we had Caribbean people going and fighting, and then they were coming back and they were being told that, oh, after going and putting your life on the line, you're still supposed to be under a different rule. You're not supposed to share your view. You're not supposed to do these things. And that's where really and truly there were stirrings before, but the Caribbean labor movement really started then, in earnest, I should say. We had, and when you look at the way the region was when our leaders came from a trade union background. Look at the kind of social protection, the way that the workers were treated, as opposed to now, where although they are workers, they may not be from a trade union background. Because I know for sure in Anguilla, our trade union background is not strong. I don't know about St. Martin. I know in other countries, because people have become very individualistic and feel that they don't need to be part of a grouping, not realizing that if you are part of a bigger grouping, you can get more accomplished. There are going to be individual matters, yes, but collectively, everybody needs to have the same fair treatment. And I don't know if did I answer your question?
No, you started. Yes, you started. Go ahead.
But I think that we can only fight against anything collectively. We can't do it individually. And we have to realize that it's the same foe, for want of a better word, that we are fighting. We're fighting for basic things for our people. Because everybody is a worker. And I think that sometimes when people are in senior management or other positions, they don't realize that they too are workers. And we need to remember that we're all workers, and we should all look for the best for everybody, not just for some, but for everybody.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
Willemstad, Curaçao remains uncertain whether striker Jurgen Locadia will be available for the national team's historic FIFA World Cup opener against Germany, as the Curaçao Football Federation, FFK, continues discussions with FIFA regarding a red card he received in a recent friendly match. National team coach Dick Advocaat confirmed on Thursday that world football's governing body has yet to make a final decision. Locadia was shown a straight red card during Curaçao's friendly against Scotland on Saturday. According to Advocaat, it remains unclear how FIFA will assess the incident and whether it will result in a suspension. The Federation is working on it together with FIFA. We hope to get clarity soon. They are handling it, but we cannot make the decision ourselves, Advocaat said during a press conference at the Corendon Resort. The veteran Dutch coach expressed hope that any punishment would be limited. With referees these days, you never know how things are written up. They can make it very serious. We don't know how FIFA will deal with it. We have to wait and see. But it would be a great shame to lose a player like him, Advocaat said. The 78-year-old coach pointed to the example of Portuguese star Cristiano Ronaldo, who received a red card last year but ultimately avoided a suspension that would have prevented him from representing his national team. The 78-year-old coach pointed to the example of Portuguese star Cristiano Ronaldo, who received a red card last year but ultimately avoided a suspension that would have prevented him from representing his national team. Final preparations continue. Despite the uncertainty surrounding Locadia, Curaçao is continuing its preparations for its first ever World Cup appearance. The Blue Wave will play a farewell match against Aruba in Willemstad on Saturday before departing for the United States. It's time for us to win again. We're ready, Advocaat said. Short-term rentals have become a permanent part of Caribbean tourism, driven by sustained consumer demand. In one major Caribbean destination, STR visitor nights grew 118% between 2019 and 2025, representing 39% of all visitor accommodation by Q1 2026. Rather than retreat from this trend, the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, CHTA, is providing Caribbean destinations with practical tools to capture this economic opportunity responsibly. The organization has released a comprehensive STR framework developed through industry research and stakeholder consultation, including input from 14 national hotel and tourism associations, NHTAs, to help destinations understand the market, strengthen oversight, and integrate short-term rentals strategically into national tourism strategies. Short-term rentals represent both economic opportunity and the need for smart regulation, said Sanovnik Destang, president of CHTA. Our framework recognizes that STRs are here to stay, and that's positive for local entrepreneurship, destination diversity, and visitor choice. This is balanced growth, not restriction. The opportunity short-term rentals enable local property owners to participate in tourism and expand total visitor accommodation capacity. They serve distinct traveler segments: families seeking kitchens and space, remote workers requiring extended stays, and visitors prioritizing authentic neighborhood experiences. That hotels serve differently. Without transparent oversight, governments lose significant revenue. In the Dominican Republic alone, the annual accommodation tax gap is estimated at USD 170 million. When STR data is unavailable, airlines also underestimate market capacity, contributing to flight shortages and visitor frustration. Destinations that embrace transparent registration and fair regulation will capture the full economic benefit of this trend, said Vanessa Ledesma, CEO of CHTA. They'll strengthen their brand, ensure visitor safety, and protect long-term destination viability.
weather forecast tonight through Saturday midday. Variably cloudy with light haze and isolated. Surface winds tonight through Saturday midday. East-southeasterly with a light to moderate breeze at 7 to 15 mm. Higher gusts are possible. State of the sea. Slight to moderate waves, swells, up to 5 feet outlook through Sunday midday. Variably cloudy and slightly hazy with isolated showers. And now your 3-day forecast.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurance.
Yet another viral video of a teacher in the classroom. But there are smiles in the education sector this evening because unlike last Friday, the story ends differently. TVJ News' Giovanni Dennis has the details.
Another teacher caught on camera in the act, but this time it ends well. This is Elvis Salter, a singing science teacher at Dembehi in Clarendon. The video was recorded last Monday, a day after her birthday. Colleagues, students, and even parents had plans for her. Miss Salter was put in a visibly bubbly mood, and the video uploaded to Twitter on Thursday is evidence.
For years I've been singing that I love children, so the excitement, anything to excite them, I've been doing it. But teaching this particular song, I've been using it. I used it last year to teach the grade 7s last year, and I love it. I couldn't wait to use it this year.
When we visited today, she was still glowing from the overwhelming support. But students now want more.
And when I go to the class, they're so excited to see me. And if I don't sing or dance, Miss, I'm not dancing and not singing today.
Colleagues and superiors have been encouraging.
Sometimes I worry that I'm disturbing the classes next door, but for most of them are supportive. They're saying, Salt, I may not have the energy any at all.
Janice Jalal is principal.
We are happy to showcase the fact that our teachers here at Denby High School are always willing to go above and beyond to ensure that there are partnerships taking place, home, school, and we want to always build relationships with our students. Ms. Salter is one of our teachers who is a strong believer in building those kinds of good relationships with parents and students.
Ms. Salto is hoping the video inspires other teachers.
If we don't instill passion, love, loyalty, kindness into them, how are they going to learn this if we don't show it? So we have to model all these things from now, that we can have a generation of people who show love, care, passion, and loyalty. So I'm building my students for tomorrow.
Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
The $850 million campus, located in Chicago's Jackson Park on the city's south side, officially opens June 19th and is being celebrated as both a tribute to President Barack Obama's legacy and a major investment in the surrounding community.
The brand new Obama Presidential Center opens to the public soon.
This is a massive project, and it's on the south side of Chicago. It celebrates President Obama's legacy, and it also creates a brand new inviting space for the community around there to enjoy.
Our Jalea Brooks got the lucky ticket. She went to Chicago for a sneak peek.
Chicago's South Side now has a landmark like no other.
This is a $850 million investment on the south side of Chicago.
The Barack Obama Presidential Center, nestled in Jackson Park, with center leaders touting this as a major step in that area's revitalization.
This entire Presidential Center campus was informed by community input.
More than 10 years in the making, the 19-acre campus will welcome worldwide visitors. But it was important to the Obamas that this be a gathering spot that neighbors can access, like a public teaching garden.
The produce grown in this garden, all the fruits and vegetables, will be donated locally in the community.
A public library, playground.
And our home court is our, full-size NBA regulation quality basketball court. Of course, it is Barack Obama's presidential center, so of course we have a basketball court here, but it's more than that. It's our athletic center. There are classrooms in it.
Most of the campus is free and open to the public, but you do need a ticket for the museum. 8 floors that not only tell the story and impact of America's first black president, but the history that preceded change and the hope that there's more to come. And something tells me this will be a very popular stop for visitors when they come in, a full-size replica of the Oval Office, even down to the details. Take a look inside at the desk. This replica of the letter that President Bush left Obama when he took office. The museum can be seen from blocks away, but this view is unique only from the top floor, with the words from Obama's 2015 speech commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Selma to Montgomery March silently echoing all around. So there have been small groups trickling in, and even some of the programs that the center offers here have started already. And that's something that leaders say President Barack Obama really wanted to begin even before the full campus was finished. The official grand opening is Friday, June 19th. In Chicago, Jalea Brooks, 13 News.
Okay, so June 19th, the official grand opening, but there's this special dedication ceremony the day before that, and that is going to be live streamed.
Tickets are going fast for this museum. As you can imagine, it is very popular already. You do have to reserve a day in time. At last check, we went to see what the ticket situation looked like. The earliest date to get in is August 24th. So very popular, very cool.
Yes, hasn't even opened yet, and the 2 months are already sold out.
This is our SXM Daily Newscast. Thank you for joining us.